Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today we bring you the story of a man who started out as a young wrestler with a dream and went on to become one of the greatest performers in WWE history. A man who reinvented himself time and time again, battled through injuries, rivalries, and challenges, and ultimately rose to the top not just as a wrestler, but as an executive shaping the future of the business he loves. This is the story of Paul Michael Levesque. The world knows him best as Triple H. Stay with us until the end, because this is more than a wrestling story, it is a story of ambition, sacrifice, redemption, and legacy. Paul Michael Levesque was born on July 27, 1969, in Nashua, New Hampshire. From a young age, he was fascinated with bodybuilding and physical fitness. Inspired by legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he began lifting weights at the age of 14. He transformed his body, dedicating himself to fitness, and at 19 he won the 1988 Mr. Teenage New Hampshire bodybuilding competition. But while bodybuilding was a passion, wrestling soon called to him. He was captivated by the larger-than-life characters and the theatrical blend of athleticism and storytelling. Paul knew this was his true path. He began training at Killer Kowalski's wrestling school, a place that had produced many tough and disciplined wrestlers. Under Kowalski's guidance, he learned the fundamentals, the psychology of the ring, and the craft of being more than just an athlete. He debuted in 1992 under the name Tara Rising, working for small promotions before finding his way to World Championship Wrestling, WCW. There, he took on the character Jean-Paul Levesque, a French aristocrat. Though the role was short-lived, it gave him exposure. But Paul wanted more. He had bigger dreams, and he knew WCW wasn't the place where he could truly shine. In 1995, he signed with the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, and rebranded himself as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a snobbish, arrogant aristocrat. The character was over the top, but Paul embraced it, playing the part with confidence. At first, he wasn't taken seriously by fans or even some of his peers. But behind the scenes, he was studying, learning, and working tirelessly to improve. He had the drive to succeed, and he wouldn't let setbacks stop him. In the mid-1990s, Triple H became part of the Clique, a backstage group of wrestlers, including Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Sean Waltman. They were influential and controversial, often criticized for their power behind the scenes. One infamous moment, the curtain call at Madison Square Garden in 1996, nearly derailed his career. Breaking character to hug his friends after a match, Paul was punished by WWE management. While others left the company, Triple H took the brunt of the consequences. For a year, he was booked to lose matches, stuck at the bottom of the card. It could have ended his career. But instead of giving up, he used it as fuel. He trained harder, improved his craft, and waited for his moment. That moment came in 1997, when he won the King of the Ring tournament. Suddenly, he was back on track. That victory launched him into the spotlight, and soon he was aligned with Shawn Michaels in D-Generation X, one of the most rebellious, controversial, and popular factions in wrestling history. With DX, Triple H found his voice. No longer just the aristocrat character, he became the brash, sarcastic, and ruthless leader of chaos. Fans loved it. The Attitude Era was born, and Triple H was right at the center of it. As the years rolled on, Triple H evolved again. He became the Game, a moniker that represented his intensity, his dominance, and his reputation as one of the best in-ring performers of his generation. His feuds with The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Kurt Angle, and countless others defined an era. Every time he stepped into the ring, he delivered matches that fans still talk about today. From brutal street fights to classic WrestleMania main events, Triple H proved he wasn't just a star, he was a cornerstone of WWE. But with success came setbacks. Triple H suffered one of the most devastating injuries in wrestling history in 2001, when he tore his quadriceps muscle during a match. Doctors told him it would take months to recover, and some doubted he would ever wrestle again at the same level. But Paul wasn't someone who quit. He endured grueling rehab, pushed himself to the limit, and in January 2002, he made his return. When his music hit on Monday Night Raw at Madison Square Garden, the crowd erupted in one of the loudest ovations in WWE history. Triple H had proven not only his toughness, but his unbreakable will. Throughout the 2000s, Triple H became one of WWE's most decorated champions, winning 14 world championships. He co-founded the faction Evolution alongside Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista, mentoring future stars while cementing his own legacy. He became known as the Cerebral Assassin, a ruthless strategist who would do whatever it took to win. His rivalries with stars like Batista, John Cena, and The Undertaker are legendary. And his matches, particularly against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 27 and 28, are remembered as some of the greatest spectacles in WWE history. But Triple H's story isn't just about what he did inside the ring. It's also about what he did outside of it. He married Stephanie McMahon, daughter of WWE chairman Vince McMahon, in 2003. Their relationship became a power couple both in storyline and in real life. Over time, Paul transitioned from being just a performer to becoming a key figure behind the scenes. He began working as an executive, focusing on talent development and the future of WWE. One of his greatest contributions has been the creation of NXT, WWE's developmental brand. Under his guidance, NXT grew from a small training ground into one of the most respected wrestling brands in the world. He gave opportunities to young talent, signed international stars, and helped shape the next generation of WWE superstars. For many fans, NXT under Triple H became the purest form of wrestling, blending storytelling, athleticism, and passion. In 2021, Paul faced perhaps his greatest personal challenge. He suffered a cardiac event, a heart issue that required emergency surgery. It forced him to officially retire from in-ring competition. For a man who had built his life around wrestling, it was a painful decision. But he recognized that his health and his family came first. He left behind an in-ring legacy that will never be forgotten, and he embraced his role as WWE's Chief Content Officer, helping shape the creative direction of the company. Triple H's journey is about more than titles or championships. It's about resilience, adaptation, and the will to keep moving forward no matter what. He went from a young bodybuilder in New Hampshire to one of the most powerful figures in professional wrestling. He overcame setbacks, embraced reinvention, and built a career that will inspire future generations. For fans, Triple H will always be the game. He will always be the King of Kings. And now, he is the leader helping guide the future of WWE. Behind the character, Paul Levesque is a man of discipline, focus, and passion. His story is a reminder that success isn't given, it's earned. It's about hard work, sacrifice, and never letting obstacles define you. Triple H didn't just play the game. He became it. This has been the story of Triple H, Paul Michael Levesque, a man who rose from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of wrestling, a legend whose legacy is both in the ring and behind the scenes. Thank you for staying with us on Nation of Glory. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible journeys from the world of wrestling and Hollywood. Until next time, remember, greatness isn't about where you start, it's about how you finish.